Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is with great honor that we invite a truly exceptional leader to the stage. One whose career reflects a rare fusion of global expertise, strategic leadership, and transformative impact. Dr. Emmanuel Bernard is a visionary executive and president of ELIAD and Aspire West Africa, whose influence spans multiple industries including healthcare, finance, technology, and environmental systems. With a distinguished academic and professional background and decades of cross-sector experience, he has consistently demonstrated an extraordinary ability to drive industrial excellence, strengthen governance, and deliver sustainable results across global landscapes. His leadership is defined by innovation, collaboration, and deep commitment to empowering people and organizations, quality that have made him a respected voice in the leadership development and strategic transformation. Today, he continues to shape the future through impactful initiatives that build capacity, inspire change, and advance sustainable development across Africa and beyond. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in warmly welcoming the President of ELIAD, Dr. Emmanuel Bernard, to give his welcome speech.
And so I really want to welcome all of you to this occasion. It is with great pride and profound honor that I really want to say welcome to our distinguished guests of honor who are here, our award recipients, industry leaders and CEOs, people from government entities, and our ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you to our gathering, the ELIAD Global Leadership and Innovation Conference for 2026 and the African Prestige 100 Honoris Award. Today, we do not merely convene for another conference. We assemble with a purpose that's rooted in shared vision, a purpose to shape a stronger, more innovative, and globally competitive Africa. You know, for decades, our continent, Africa, took the back seat. We allowed external factors to dictate the pace and direction of our industrial development and economic progress. Our ambitions were constrained, our capabilities were underestimated, and our aspirations were often reduced to distant dreams that might or may not be possible. However, today, there's a new narrative that's unfolding across the continent of Africa. A new story is being told. It's a story that is no longer defined by limitation and challenges, but a story that is defined by possibilities. A story driven by leaders who are bold enough to imagine, leaders who are disciplined enough to build, leaders who are resilient enough to deliver lasting impact in their communities. These are the leaders that we celebrate today. Many of you here will be receiving awards as leaders who are just doing that. And for those who may not be receiving an award, that doesn't mean that you are not doing the same thing. We can't give an award to everybody at the same time. This is going to be an ongoing event, and we'll recognize and shine the light on everyone who is making impact in their communities, in their industries, in their sectors. And so we welcome you, and we see you. We thank you. And please, can we give a round of applause to everyone here today? Thank you. So the theme of this year's conference is From Vision to Victory, Leadership that Delivers Sustainable Impact in Africa. This is both a reflection of our current realities, but also a compelling call to action. So, for those who are here, we all know that vision alone is no longer enough. It's not sufficient, especially in terms of development. Africa as a continent requires action. It requires execution. We need leadership that converts ideas into institutions, leadership that turns strategies into systems, and leadership that turns ambition into measurable outcomes. That is our aim. We want to encourage leaders to do that across our nation. You see, the truth is clear. Africa has all the abundant natural resources, and we have exceptional human capital. We have the skills, we have the knowledge that's required for progress. If you want to confirm that this is true, just look across Africa and see what's going on. Rwanda, Ghana, Nigeria, South Africa, Kenya here. Industries are growing. Our youths, the coming generation, have the skills, they have the knowledge, they can do so much. If you go across the border, go to the West. I was speaking with some of our invitees today. The healthcare industry in the West is dominated by Africans. The best doctors are Africans. The IT industry across the world is dominated by Africa. I know there are so many people in Kenya here who are working for companies in America, working for companies in Europe in IT, doing that remote. And that is in addition to those who are already there. And so our vision is to harness all these resources, bring people back home, build our home. Africa can no longer become the continent that depends on imports. We should be able to sell our own goods and services to the world, and we can do that. You see, sometimes what is missing is the collective will to step beyond our comfort zones. You see, sometimes we are so comfortable with what we are doing that we fail to imagine and step out and do something phenomenal. You see, so for us as leaders in Africa, we need the courage to venture into the unknown and the discipline to sustain our gains. However, even with all these challenges and all these limitations that we see, because we know that in Africa we do have some problems that are drawing us back, problems that limit what we can do, especially in terms of industrial growth. However, irrespective of that, there are leaders who are setting the pace and actively building the Africa of the future. Some of you are here today, and that's why we're so happy that you gave us the opportunity to shine the light on you, and we celebrate you. Today, we have so many of you who are here. We have people from waste management that are here today. We have so many of our guests of honors. Some are engaged in some other things, and they are tied in by Zoom. These are industry leaders. As this conference goes on, we'll hear from renowned personalities across Africa. We'll hear from PLO Lumumba. All of us know him, right? And then we'll hear from the Director General of the World Trade Organization, Dr. Konjo Iweala, here today. Now, amongst the recipients, we have people who are doing good in banking, digital banking, both in oil and gas, human resources, environmental. We have so many of them here today. Mr. Boniface Mbiti is here from We Center, is here with us. It's going to be one of our persons here. We have someone from South Africa who is in aviation, breaking bounds and making really recognizable moves. And so whoever is here and those who are not here and those who are on Zoom, we say thank you for doing what you're doing. You see, with us in Aspire West Africa, our mission is very, very clear. We stand to identify, empower, and connect leaders who are not just shaping, but also redefining the role of Africa in global economy. And so through our platform and through events like this, we are building bridges between nations, across boundaries, across sectors, across government parastatals, making sure that we build the leaders of tomorrow. And so to our distinguished guests and award recipients, the African Prestige 100 Honoris Award is far more than a recognition of excellence. It is actually a celebration of impact. The impact you have in your communities, in your countries, and in your industries. You represent the very best of what Africa stands for, and that is innovation, resilience, integrity, and progress. Your work is creating employment. It is empowering and transforming communities, advancing technology, and inspiring a new generation of African leaders. So we thank you for that. We thank you for your efforts and for the mentorship that you're giving to our youths. Yet, beyond this recognition, there's something else that's very important: responsibility. The responsibility to collaborate, to scale impact, and to ensure that Africa's growth remains inclusive, sustainable, and globally relevant. And so as you engage with one another here and across our continent, just think outside the box. Think about collaboration. You see, you can't do it alone. We can't do it alone. Here is something I always think about. You see, a company in Kenya here may have the technology, but they don't have the human power to do it. But maybe the neighboring country has people with the skills. You see, if we reach across, we can build something phenomenal. Or maybe a company in Nigeria have the resources that another company in Ghana need, or in South Africa. You see, we must see ourselves as one continent. The future of Africa lies in our hands, and nobody's going to do it for us. And so we encourage you to collaborate with one another across our borders. Don't let them distract you with those banters on social media, okay? We are known for that. We are brothers. Brothers fight and, they make up, right? Yes, that's Africa for you. But the most important thing is that we must reach out to our people wherever they are and work with them with goodwill and fairness, and we can build a lasting Africa. We must move beyond silos. You see, the era of isolated institutions is long gone. Governments, private sectors, leaders, and innovators must work together deliberately and strategically to unlock Africa's full potential. Our own friend, PLO Lumumba, I always listen to him, and I'll tell you something that he said. He said, Africa will never rise until we stop being beggars at someone's table. We need to build our own table and invite the world to it. Friends, this statement is very true, especially this time. We must move beyond being import dependent to a continent that not only feeds its own people, but exports to the world. Here is something else that he said. PLO Lumumba, he said, praying without action is mere superstition. Faith must be accompanied by action. Again, that's a true statement if we apply that to our global development. You see, in some of our communities, there are more churches and worshipers than industries. Ladies and gentlemen, God has given Africa the natural resources and the human capital. God will not come down and build Africa's Teslas. He has given us the resources to build our own Teslas. And so we need to think outside the box, collaborate with one another. Everyone has a role to play to advance the industrial growth of Africa. Sometimes people say Africa is rising. But to us in Aspire, we believe that Africa has arrived. What remains is for us as leaders to align our vision with action and our influence with purpose. Remember our elder statesman, Patrice Lumumba, when he was fighting for political emancipation of his country. He said, one day, Africa will write her own history, and it will be a history of glory and dignity. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to say that time is now. He also reminded us that independence is never given on a silver platter. It must be won. While those words were a rallying cry for a political liberation, they resonate with us today powerfully as we pursue industrial development and economic independence. Africa's destiny firmly lies on our hands. We must harness our resources and build a sustainable and prosperous Africa for ourselves and for the generations to come. I believe that we have reached that stage in life where economic development of Africa, where moving forward is perilous, while moving backwards is cowardice, and standing still is suicidal. But we must persevere because winners do not quit, and quitters never won. Do you remember who said that? That was PLO Lumumba, again, talking about development in Africa. And so we can't move backwards. We can't stand still. It is time to move forward. And so we encourage you to build something, make something, collaborate with someone so that we can build an Africa that all of us will be proud of. As we engage in our discussions today and share insights and celebrate excellence, I invite all of you, or all of us, to reflect on one important question. That question is, what legacy are we building for Africa? What legacy am I building for Africa? This question mirrors the reflection of parents. Maybe you are a parent, you've considered the future of your kids, and maybe you've thought about what you are leaving behind. For some, it could be wealth. For others, it could be values or character. But the goal is always the same, and that is to leave something lasting, something of value, something that empowers our children when we are gone. And so, when it comes to Africa and our industrial development, the same question lingers. What am I leaving behind for the coming generation? What legacy are we building for Africa and our children? And so let's think about that. If that is something you take away from this conference, please reflect on that. And so, ladies and gentlemen, this gathering is not just a moment. Let it be a beginning of a movement of leaders committed to tangible impact, a movement that transforms vision into victory, a movement that positions Africa not merely as a participant, but a leader on the global stage. And so on behalf of all of us at ELIAD and Aspire West Africa, I welcome all of you and thank you for being part of this defining moment in Africa's leadership journey. Thank you, and may God bless Africa.